Oh, howdy all, grab yourself a beer, it's time for some Path of Exile discussion. Today I wanted to put out a crafting discussion video, and this is going to revolve around Deft Fossils. So 3.16 saw a number of changes that took place to fossils. Most notably, some of the ultra-rare fossils, specifically the bloodstained and tangled fossils, got completely overhauled. The bloodstained fossil was essentially nerfed into oblivion, although there are a couple of real corner case uses for it now. The tangled fossil was probably made better, but lost its old identity. And at the moment, there'd be a whole video to make on tangled fossils, but I want to research them more before I try to put something out. However, at the uncommon fossil level, the encrusted fossil and the enchanted fossil were retired, and they were replaced. And the Deft fossil is one of the replacements here. So this replaces the old enchanted fossil. You'll find these behind fractured walls in magma fissure biomes at moderate rarity. And once you start getting to sort of depth 250 or so, they start becoming a bit more common. So, more critical modifiers. This means that any critical modifier is 10 times as likely to roll. No attribute modifier means that anything related to strength, dex, and intelligence cannot roll on the item. So the real power of these, in my opinion, is using them on jewels. The reason for this is that jewels have incredibly good critical mods on them. Additionally, the attribute modifiers that are available on them are, broadly speaking, rubbish. It's not that you can't use them, it's just that they're weaker than pretty much anything else you might roll on a jewel. And for this reason, the Deft Fossil is all upside. But the other thing that's really good, not only are the critical modifiers among the very best mods you can get on jewels, but on top of that, they work really well with each other. Ultimately, it's only critical strike multiplier that you care about, and 50% of the time that you roll a critical mod, it will be critical strike chance. Those mods are not particularly efficient. They're okay to have, but they're not what you want. What you want here is to get synergistic critical strike multiplier rolls, at least 2 of them, and ideally getting 3. Now, there's a couple of options. You can do these on Viridian jewels, you can do them on Cobalt jewels. I don't really suggest Crimson jewels, just because they're like Viridian jewels in terms of the mods that are available, just marginally worse. However, you can certainly experiment with them if you want. You can also use them in conjunction with pristine fossils. Pristine fossils make life rolls more common, and I'm going to choose not to do that. However, pristine fossils have a couple of effects. Firstly, it makes the 5 to 7% increased character life roll more common than it would otherwise be. This is a good thing. But it also makes a couple of undesirable rolls more common. Things like physical damage are leached as life, things like totem life, things like minion life that you probably don't want to see. If you're using a Cobalt jewel, you can also use dense fossils for the energy shield version of this, and that's another option. I'm not going to cover it in this video, but you should at least give it some thought if you're going to try for something. Anyways, I thought we'll just do a couple of demonstrations here and see what we get. So firstly, we've got Global Critical Strike Chance, bleh, but we have 2 synergistic Critical Strike Multiplier rolls here. Critical Strike Multiplier with one-handed melee weapons, Critical Strike Multiplier with lightning skills. This is a lightning strike jewel. This is not an uber lightning strike jewel, it's a serviceable one, and it's not quite so good that you would feel bad rolling over it in a trade league, although for that matter, I'd probably try and sell this. But that's up to you. See what you can get, see what you can sell, see what you can't. Here we've got 2 critical strike chance rolls, which generally speaking is a bad thing. We've got a critical strike multiplier with fire skills mod, and we've got projectile damage. This is not total rubbish, but it's not good enough to use beyond early in a league, so we're just going to roll over it. Here we've got mind damage, which is a brick. You can still get all of the mods that aren't explicitly blocked by this combination. More critical strike modifiers makes the crit mods 10 times as likely to roll, but there's a huge pool of mods available for jewels, so you're not guaranteed to get something good. Crit strike chance is the only crit mod that we've got. Cold resistance, poison. Bleh. That is complete and utter trash, and it is getting rolled straight over with no thoughts. Here we've got Global Crit Multi, Critical Strike Multiplier with lightning skills, and Critical Strike Chance with cold skills. Again, this is a 2 crit multi jewel, and it's got the Critical Strike Chance mod on it. Critical Strike Chance mod is not very good, but is sort of okay. If this had a 4th mod that was useful at all, this would be the sort of thing you could sell in a trade league. If this had as its 4th mod life, now it can't have that because life is also a prefix here, so that would require the avalanching mod to be replaced by a comparable critical strike chance suffix. But if it did have that, then it would be really, really good. Anyways, let's just push on and roll over it, because this is the Endless Delve event. All this currency is going straight to the Void League anyway. Here we've got Fire.multi. Again, you can get some weird stuff here. This is basically rubbish. This has no idea what it's trying to do. Everything is, all the mods are different to each other. No real synergy. Best thing you could do with that is some sort of ultra hipster blade trap ignite build, maybe. Crit strike chance, a double crit multi again. We're getting these a lot. One-handed melee weapons, elemental skills, fire skills. Lots of synergy there. This is not what you're looking for. What you're looking for is to get 3 multipliers instead. But this is certainly in the sort of realm of a serviceable jewel. And we'll try again. Here we've got something that is complete and utter rubbish. We've got the of deadliness suffix, which is unfortunately a bit of a dud for most builds anyway. And then we've just got bad prefixes as well, so that one's rubbish. Global crit multi, crit strike multiplier, and a quite live mod. I quite like getting resists on jewels these days, so this is actually really good. This is the sort of thing that you would not roll over in a trade league. This is the sort of thing you would sell. However, this is in the Endless Delve event, so I don't feel bad for rolling over it, as I have no use for it, and the Endless Delve event is about to expire. But that's an example of some of the better things you're going to get that are not, this is not a jackpot, but this entropy stone is pretty good. Global crit multi, crit strike multiplier with lightning skills, crit strike multiplier with cold skills. This doesn't look like it at first, but this is a massive hit. This is the sort of thing that is, especially with the fact that it's perfectly divined, this thing would be absolutely amazing for any build that is using a skill that is both cold and lightning. There's a few of those. This is an elemental hit jewel, and this would be a monstrous elemental hit jewel. This would be something that would definitely sell in a trade league. I'm going to keep that. That's the sort of thing that's a cool little toy. In fact, I'm going to Vaal it because it's going to Void League, and unfortunately it's been ruined there. But hey, let's have a little bit of fun with it. Anyway, that is Deft Fossils. Deft Fossils are quite a bit better than people are sort of giving them credit for. People have been sleeping on these things for a while. You can use them on other types of jewels as well. So you can use them on cobalt jewels, as we were mentioning. And wow, that's actually, I wasn't expecting that to happen. That's quite good too. Is this one rubbish? Yeah, this one's rubbish. Cool. Let's try one more and see if we can get something else good. No, we didn't. But there you see, 11 Deft Fossils. We got one thing that's genuinely really good here. This one before we Vaaled it was looking pretty good. And let's just Vaal this as well. And if it goes corrupting blood, then we'll feel bad. No, that's cool. So those were definitely jewels that were usable. Like in a trade league environment, they would sell. That'd be something you'd be happily using in solo self-found, or maybe you'd just use them yourself on a character. That's all I got on this. Deft Fossils. Try and mess around with them. They're really good. They're a lot better than people giving them credit for, and people should stop sleeping on them.